Hello, everybody. Happy 11/11. This is Vinito Kumar, also known as twinflameunion, bringing you guys in this live video. The topic for today is why twin flames get a reputation of being toxic. So I am just gonna wait for some of you to hop on. This was sort of a last minute thing that I did, and now I am just waiting for some of you guys to just kind of get on board here. I'm also going to just check the settings and stuff like that. So just give me a bit here before I actually go into the topic. I have some stuff that I've already written just to kind of make sure that we are able to just stay on point with the topic. Of course, you can always let me know if you have any questions, you want to make any comments. You can do so as well in the comment section. And I am just trying to see here. Give me a bit here, just because I just got to look at some of okay, here we go. I am set. Okay, here. Yes, that's okay. So can I see the chat? I should be able to see some chats once people get on. Can you guys just write something on the chat box just so that I can make sure that I'm getting the questions? And also it's always nice to know where people are tuning from. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me know on that part as well. Welcome to this live. It's been a while. I haven't had chance to do a YouTube live, and I missed doing that. And then today I had a little bit of window where I could actually get on board with you guys, so I decided to actually do that, and give you guys a topic to talk about. Just gonna wait a few more minutes for people to just kind of hop on. It is, like I said, a last minute thing that I did. So, okay, open panel. Let me just see if I can do that. Because I should be able to see some live chats as well. Okay. Well, when somebody comments, then I'll have a look at whatever people are making comments on. You can also share your views and stuff like that. It is a topic that everybody hears in the community, especially the twin flame community. You know, we do get a bad reputation. Don't ask me why, and I'm gonna go into a few areas of the reason why we get these kind of reputation. So first of all, I'm just gonna dive into it. Welcome for those that are viewing. Welcome aboard here. Happy 11/11. So today's topic is why twin flames get a reputation of being toxic. For those that are in the journey, like you and I, that are here, we know that we are not dealing with toxic connection. You already know you're in a spiritual journey, and you also know that it's a spiritual connection. This is why you got the twin flame awakening, right? Not everybody were born spiritual, and at some point you met your twin flame, and then you got the awakening of just being aware that there is a spiritual aspect of the journey, spiritual transformation, and all those kind of things that happen along with all of that. So that is one of the things that people do not realize. When I said people, I'm talking about not the people that are in a twin flame journey, people just that have no idea. what the actual journey is. It is a spiritual connection, and it is a spiritual journey. So with that, of course, there is people that will talk to you, um, like your friends and your family will not understand what's happening to you, or why you are suddenly so different, right? You've got all this uh, downloads, spiritual gifts, spiritual awareness, psychic awareness, right? You are focusing on being an empath. Many things like that happen, and the reason why that's happening is because everything happens all of a sudden. You are not, so you are one time just living a normal experience, and now all of a sudden you're living a twin flame experience. And a lot of people don't, you'll hear that on YouTube sometimes. They will you'll see some articles, you'll see it on Reddit, some of their social media platforms, where people will say a lot of things about twin flames, and not necessarily everything that you hear are correct, because you are dealing with your own journey, you're dealing with your own twin flame, you're dealing with your own spiritual awakening. So that this is already something very, very profound. This is something different out of your usual experience that your friends and family are dealing with. So in that case, it's very, very different. And a lot of times people just don't get that. And unfortunately, this journey sometimes becomes very lonely, right? The reason why that is the case is because not many people understand and get where you are coming from. You are all of a sudden dealing with all these things, transformation. Now you're trying to figure out what is your life purpose, what are your goals, what are your dreams. Not that you didn't have that before, but this is on a different level. So all those kind of things also play in fact, right? So um, there are a lot of false prophecies out there regarding twin flames, and not everything is correct. I know that things have changed a lot in the last 7 years just within the community. When I started off in the journey, I know that it was so new back in the time. This was in 2018 I'm talking about, right? Like there were groups and stuff like that. The whole community was getting mocked at. It's getting better, it's not as bad. I don't see it that bad these days. I think that more people have gotten used to the idea that there are uh, certain ones that are living a twin flame experience or twin flame journey, right? So but before it was pretty bad. A lot of people didn't believe that twin flames were even real. They didn't think that it was actually even a thing, because everything was just so new at that time. uh, Even people that were in a spiritual journey didn't think that it, twin flames was just make believe situation. So I don't know how many of you have come across that. You'll have to tell me in your chat just how long have you been in the journey, so maybe give me an idea here. But there was those times too. I've seen it all, and I've seen people even give information that were in today's time inaccurate. So there were just stuff like that. Some teachers and healers believed that they were in a twin flame journey, and all of a sudden they were not. So the one thing that I will tell you, it doesn't matter what phase of your journey you are. Once you are aware that you're in a twin flame journey, it's not like you're not in the journey anymore. It doesn't work that way. Either you are in a twin flame journey or you're not, right? Either you're a twin flame or you're not. There's no such thing as that, and I've seen that with a lot of people. They said that they were in a twin flame journey, and all of a sudden they were not. I don't know how that happens. It doesn't. There's no reverse to that, right? Either you are or you're not. So that was just some of the confusion that people were in back in the days. So many of them try to go in the platform as a spiritual healer, spiritual teacher, and all those kind of things, and all of a sudden they decided to make an exit point and give up on their mission work, and different types of road turned out differently for them. I'm not judging, but I'm just saying that there was situations like that. So yeah, it's really really important to know that as a twin flame, if you are in a twin flame journey, you should be aware of anybody that's teaching. How long have they been teaching, or how long have they stuck to the journey? Because you'll have people come and go. I've seen that. I, I've been in the journey for almost 8 years now, so I've seen it all. I've seen people come and go when it comes to just the information on twin flames, or they decided to not do that. And yeah, it doesn't work that way. It hasn't worked that way for me. I would never ever say that I'm not in a twin flame journey. I don't know what life looks like ahead, but I've been doing this for so long. I've written now 99 articles on my website. So it is not easy. And I'm here to tell you guys that just hang in there, right? It doesn't matter whether you will ever see your twin flame again, or whether things are not good with your twin flame. The journey is here no matter what. So yeah, I wanted to also put that information out as well, because a lot of you are giving up on the journey. You don't feel like being in the journey, but it's not like that. It doesn't work that way. Once you're in the journey, you are here, right? No matter what. Another thing that I want to tell or point out is that there's lots of people that will see the entire journey, the entire experience based on their own understanding of it. And everybody is different, because everybody, like, no finger is the same length, as you can see. So that's the same thing with people. Not everybody's going to see the same way as maybe you do. So and that includes with anybody that's teaching the journey, or they're teaching spirituality, right? Everybody has their own version of what it is. So there is no right and wrong. It's just a matter of where you are in your journey. And you'll notice that as you are progressing into your journey, certain things will not make sense, and that's okay, because you are actually evolving. It's not like you are not ascending, right? You're always ascending to gain soul experiences, soul journey, soul transformation. So once you're there, you're not actually really doing a reverse situation, if that makes sense. So that is another thing that I want to say. And when teachers and healers are out there doing the mission work, it's also based on their awareness, their own spiritual consciousness, their own, how much have they healed their own inner wounding, and things that they how much have they dissolved their ego self, if that makes sense. There's so many things like that are playing a factor as well, because you want to also make sure that when you are following somebody on social media or on YouTube, reading somebody's article, just see where they are coming from in terms of their healing as well. Because if they haven't done the inner work themselves, and they're trying to also talk about it, then it'll reflect on how they are teaching even the journey, if that makes sense. So that is another thing, because everything is a mirror, and that is how the entire world around you is shifting, right? Everything is an inner reflection of you. So even teachers and healers, people that are on a spiritual journey, they will also perceive, or all those kind of things through their own perception of whatever is their inner mirror that's going to get reflected, and of course they will teach it accordingly. So it's very, very important that you are also, doing that. Okay, so I've got some, let me just see here if this is, okay, so I've got some questions here. Just give me a second. Some of them are actually good questions. So, okay, so I've got one person that's asking, just because you are a twin flame, that doesn't necessarily mean they are your person, right? Um, yes, yes, that's true. Just because you are in a twin flame journey doesn't necessarily mean that the person that you believe is your twin flame is necessarily your twin flame. I know that I was mistaken when I got the awakening. I thought that I was dealing with a twin flame and I wasn't. And this, it's very, very common for a lot of twin flames to get that, where they're actually meeting a catalyst twin flame, which is almost like a twin flame, but it's not quite that twin flame. Uh, and there's a reason for that, is because they are already going through the awakening process. They just need to tie some soul contracts with that particular person, if that makes sense. Like that, your catalyst twin flame is also your soulmate, or you do have a spiritual connection with them. It's not a karmic. I've talked about that in my YouTube channel. It should be under pep talk and empowerment, as well as in my blogs about different types of connections. You have the soulmate connection, you have the karmic, and you have the twin flame. So the catalyst twin flame is sort of like your soulmate, but there are some karmic ties that you are tying with them, some loose things that you're just kind of sorting out on a soul level, and this is why they show up in your physical reality before your actual one shows up. So another thing is, sometimes it's your catalyst twin flame will show up. It's sort of like a bridge of incidents, if that makes sense. It's taking you through a few steps before you will actually meet your real twin flame. So that is true. And the one way that I say you can talk about or simply know whether you are in a twin flame journey is to do a 72-hour twin flame test. You can Google or even go on YouTube. You can say 72-hour twin flame test, type in my name, Vinita Kumar, that should show up. I have talked about that twin flame test on YouTube, as well as I have an article. So in the article, I actually have a scripted sort of like how you can word it when you're actually executing the test. So it's essentially what it is it's within the course of 72 hours, you are asking the universe to confirm whether this person is your twin flame or not. And if your person is your twin flame, the signs will appear. So yes, you can try that. There are a lot of people that do get very very confused, and it is very confusing, because this person that you will meet will feel like your twin flame, but and then at that time you will totally think that that person is your twin flame, but it's not. And usually, if you've met your catalyst twin flame, then your real twin flame is coming up very soon. It doesn't take years and years. From the people that I have talked to, they come very, very, like within 6 months to a year. So you don't have to wait too long. And somehow, somewhere deep down, I've done this video as well, where you will just simply know when the real one shows up. You will know this person is different. And for you watchers that are here, if you don't get that feeling about the person that you are thinking is your twin flame, if you simply just don't know, you're not sure, then most likely that is not your twin flame. It's just the clear knowing is one of the biggest sign when it comes to twin flames, right? So just knowing that this is different. This is how do I know this person? Person feels so familiar, right? So and it's because you guys have had lots of history uh, between the two of you, and this is why there's so many things that are happening in this lifetime with your twin flame, whether you see it in a physical reality of 3D, or whether all of that stuff is in the 5D where you guys are doing the the transformation, the inner work through through that level, right, on a spiritual level. So there's just so much to the journey, and this was an excellent question. So and hello, thank you. I actually didn't get a chance to get dressed too fast. Like I just went to the gym and then I was running out of time. So this is me semi dressed up. Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about is, because this is a spiritual journey and it is a spiritual connection, and by the way, you do feel your connection with them all the time. There is no, and I'm going to debunk some of these things that people think is not the case, but it is. People think that once you are in a twin flame journey, you can forget about your twin flame. I have not come across one single human being that is in a twin flame journey that can forget about their twin flame. It doesn't exist. So let me know if anybody is, you know, thinking otherwise. I even get comments and stuff like that from a lot of my viewers, and a lot of times the feedback goes back as far as 20 years ago, where they have not been able to not think about their twin flame. So it's here to stay. The connection is here. Once you're aware that you're on a twin flame journey, once you know that you're dealing with a twin flame, it doesn't matter whether you've actually moved on. It depends on your own soul contract. I know some people have moved out of their the connection, where they have settled with another person, that sort of thing. Again, it's what they chose, but they will still remember their twin flame. They will still think about them, and it's not one-sided. And they, if your twin flame is with somebody, right, another relationship, they will still think about you, because you are connected very energetically with people. And this is an energetic connection that you cannot sabotage, you cannot untie. There is a lot of people that will claim that there's black magic has separated my twin flame, or some sort of voodoo, or some sort of dark force. Those are all incorrect. There is nothing that can sabotage your connection with your twin flame. It's very, very different from the usual type of connection that you will have with other people, right? So yeah, stay clear from any of those kind of advices. That the whole reason why your twin flame is in a separation with you is because of your twin flame will show you everything that's happening inwards as a mirror, meaning that when you look at this principle in general, that everything is a mirror, that everything that you see on your outer reality is a reflection of your inner reality, and that includes your twin flame, you will start to look at things in a very, very different light. You will start to heal inwardly on many, many things. That's something that I want to highlight here, because whatever is happening with your twin flame, you and them in the 3D sense, is because there is something that your awareness, your perceptions is something that you are perceiving it that way regarding your twin flame. I'm going to go into it a little bit more. What that means is you have to pay attention to the type of stories that you are telling regarding your twin flame. It's not that easy. You have to be mindful. I would say everybody has a phone, so just pay attention to it. This is your homework assignment for maybe the next coming week. See just how you are perceiving your connection with your twin flame. Now I'm going to explain what I mean. If you feel, and it's the stories that you're telling, oh, my twin flame is in a karmic relationship with somebody, then that one will keep playing in your physical reality. Another thing that you can say is that, well, my twin flame doesn't prioritize me, right? Is not making me their priority, then that's what it is. My twin flame is too busy with work or whatever, he doesn't have time for a relationship. So then that will kind of keep playing. So be mindful of what that looks like. I go, of course, deep down into this particular stuff in my my new twin flame. It's sort of like a program that I'm building. You know how to actually manifest your twin flame or your specific person. So this is going to be very heavy there, where I'm going to actually help you guys to kind of look at how you can know all these things. But for your homework assignment for today, if you're watching, uh, try to see how you perceive your connection with your twin flame, because that's going to really, really make a difference. That is your inner reality that's showing up. However way you perceive your connection regarding your twin flame is how it's going to show up in your physical reality. And if you don't believe it, give it a try. See what happens. What else? The healing part that I wanted to talk to you guys about is the whole point of a twin flame connection or being in a twin flame journey is to really transform yourself into a version, and everybody has different soul contracts within themselves, so you'll have to figure out what that is, but it is always to become a better version of who you were always destined to become. This is that inner longing that your soul has before it actually birthed. It's a soul contract that you signed with yourself to gain this human experience, to gain a spiritual experience, and to become the best version of who you were always supposed to be. It's going to be different for everybody. This is why it becomes very, very lonely, because you have to figure out what you want, what is it that your soul is craving for. And this is why you'll hear people talk about inner transformation, self-transformation. They will talk about loss of healing, just finding lost parts of yourself. Those are some of those things that you've heard, is because that's the whole point. And your soul knows what it wants. It's the higher self, it's the better version of you that knows all of that stuff. And it will create scenarios with your twin flame, with people around you. It will create circumstances as well around you to make you go into that transformation mode. So that one is part of your journey, part of your soul contract. And of course, a lot of times people get so fed up because it's exhausting. And I know it is exhausting, but hang in there. It is meant to, make you a better version. And as long as you're looking at it through that way, another thing that you can also do is just kind of think about it this way. Well, before my twin flame awakening or before my journey, what was life like before this? And that's a part of reflection that you can do as a homework assignment as well, is to just kind of dive deep into that aspect to see, well, what was life like before all of this? Were you happy? Were you truly happy? You have to be very, very honest about that, right? You have to ask yourself like a question, and just try to give yourself an honest answer, reflect on it, right? Reflect back even 10 years, and see whether you actually were truly, truly, truly happy where you were even 10 years ago or even 5 years ago, before all of this stuff happened. So, and uh, if you can answer truthfully, try to journal that, because that's something that is going to really, really help you, uh, navigate your journey in a different way. Because if you've gotten your answer and you've seen that, well, life wasn't as amazing as it is now, then yeah, that's when you know that you're on the right track. And really, you will know also whether you are in a right track, because you'll get that, you'll get the guidance, you'll get the right people will show up at the right time, right? The right material will show up at the right time for you to just kind of get into another improvement of something on a certain area. So this is why I don't understand how people can just assume that this entire journey or twin flames are actually toxic, because if you look at it this way, it really isn't a toxic journey. I know that there are some people that even call their twin flame connection as a narcissistic connection, or that their twin flame is narcissistic. So, and I know that there's one person on YouTube, it's really annoying to even watch. I don't watch that person, it's really, really annoying. The energy is just there, and you can tell even from that, it doesn't feel good when you're flipping onto a channel and they're talking about stuff like that, right? The narcissistic stuff, because it doesn't resonate, or hopefully it shouldn't resonate. And if it is resonating, then maybe that's an aspect that you need to work on. But like those kind of videos will not even resonate, right? So, and that person, yeah, it's all, gosh, that entire channel is just that. And I know this was one of my dentists. He's kind of like, I won't say he's spiritual, but we sometimes chit chat. And one time, this person was saying uh, something about that person, and I just told him, well, I don't watch that channel, because I don't know, it doesn't resonate with me. It doesn't. It's never resonated with me what this person talks about, and you can tell that this person has a lot of issues just based on the topics that is chosen, or the way that it's being taught, that kind of thing. So, so yeah, I mean, I knew off the bat that that's what it is, but sometimes people will still be drawn to that kind of stuff. And again, everything is a mirror. And this is why you have to really be mindful of what you are drawn to as well, when you are trying to look for information about anything, because everything would be a mirror to that. Um, a good way or a good test would be, let's just say that you are scrolling on social media, let's just say Facebook or Instagram, and you thought of something, or some sort of food, right? You know how those kind of stuff comes in feed, right? So let's just say that you are thinking of something. Could be some sort of food, or some sort of vacation that you are thinking, or even some sort of item that you want to buy, right? It's in your mind, and all of a sudden you see that information on, like, as you are scrolling down the feed, you see that information in your feed, right? So that is a very good example of just giving you an idea that how mirroring works. Everything is a mirror, and it's because you were already thinking about that situation, thinking about that kind of food or something, or even on TV. It doesn't matter how you will see it. I'm just saying that that will be something that will show up, or it will present you in a way where you'll give you that aha moment that, oh, I was just thinking about this. The same idea, if why I said that everything is a mirror, because if you are understanding that concept, you will see it outplay a lot in their physical reality. So if that is a mirror, then, and it's already played it out where you've seen it, then you know that every other aspect will be the case as well. So be mindful of that. Be mindful of what you're consuming in terms of knowledge, in terms of anything that is as information. um, I know that there are some public forums that will, example Reddit, where they'll have some sort of question and then it's there, they'll have a discussion on that. Just be mindful of what sort of thing you are consuming. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. You can jot them down, I will answer. um this is a I need to say that because this is so important, and this part is the I've kind of already talked about the transformation of self, and it is all about dissolving your ego. And spiritual ego is very, very different from like the normal ego, right? Their ego is based on fear, it's on based on doubt, not trusting the process. Ego would be also the part where you are just not not in the right vibe, right? You think that everything is out there to get you, those kind of things, right? So you're also dissolving some of those things as well as part of your transformation. uh, Another thing I want to add here is it is completely false when people feel that you cannot be with your twin flame. There are some, even teachers and healers and stuff like that, that will say that, and that's not true. Because if you have to look at it this way, everything is vibration. So if you, let's just say, want a cup of coffee, and somebody, your friend or your family or your colleague, decides to get you a cup of coffee, then you manifested that, right? You can try this. It's some of those things that you are manifesting, you're always manifesting. And if you can manifest the little things, then you can also manifest the bigger things. There is no such thing as the sun only shining on certain people and not on others, right? The whole universe works the same. All right, everything is given on an equal basis. Just because other people had better opportunities does not mean that you cannot. So everything is, when it comes to the law, when it comes to the universe, everything is on an equal level, right? So when you look at it this way, then there is no such thing that you can manifest a cup of coffee and you cannot manifest a twin flame. The universe does not know the difference between a penny and $1,000. It only knows vibration. So you only attract what you are, not what you want. So based on that, it is false misconception. People they don't know what they're talking about when they say that you cannot be with your twin flame, you cannot manifest your twin flame. There is no such thing. Because if you desire something, then your desire also desires you in some other physical dimension, in another world. So, and that is very, very important to know, because you will not have a desire to, let's just say, get rich if you were not meant to be rich. Just giving you an example here. Any questions, concerns, let me know, but I can clarify here. So whenever you are hearing anybody telling you that you cannot manifest your twin flame or you cannot be with your twin flame, that is incorrect. The reason why there is separation between you and your twin flame is because of something that is happening in a inner reality that you need to change. And once you figure out what that is, then of course all of that changes. It's easier said than done because you need to figure out what that is, and that's where it can take a long time. It can take a day, it can take a few years. It all depends on what you've got going on inside you. So this is why I was saying that you need to be mindful of what story you are telling your friends and family or even yourself regarding your connection with your twin flame. So yeah, and if you are thinking in terms of your own twin flame being toxic, then you need to ask your question, just why do you feel that way about your twin flame? What is it that has happened in your connection that is allowing you to think that way? There's so much history when it comes to you and your twin flame. A lot of it is also past life. This is why knowing your story also helps with the connection, or trying to figure out what's kind of keeping you apart with them. When I am doing past life work with my clients, we dive deep into that part of why there are certain limitations or certain things that are happening when it comes to their twin flame and them, and why, what was the history there, what was happening on those lives, why was there separation in those lives, if there were any, what were some of the blocks, that kind of stuff. So that's something, I don't know how many of you have actually looked into your past lives yet, but that is also another thing that is to be mindful of. So hopefully this kind of made sense to you all. Let me know. I'm just gonna hang on for another couple of minutes before I end this live. So if there's any questions that you guys wanna ask me, you can you can do so right now in the chat box, and I will try to answer. And try to follow me in my social media. I've got Facebook, I've got Twitter, I've got Instagram, and I really try to post things on a daily basis there. It's quite the journey, and my whole idea is to help you guys get through all of this. It's not easy, it never was. I'm not gonna say that this is an easy journey. If you guys want to join my private Facebook group, you can do so as well. All that stuff would be in the description box in my about section of this channel, so you can find links there if that's going to be easier for you guys. And of course, you can also go to my website as well and check out all the articles that I've got. I have been in this journey for a very long time. I've embraced it. I've embraced the fact that this is the journey, and I have my ups and downs. I'm not gonna say that I don't, but for most part, I've chosen this. This was what I was meant to do, is to help you guys to do my mission work, and it's been a good journey. When I look at my life, what it was, even let's just say 10 years ago, this is so much better, so much better. And it's just gonna get better and better. I was actually, in fact, just talking to my cousin about this, right, before my live, and there's just so many things that I have learned in this journey, and I'm grateful, with a lot of gratitude. I know that I'm grateful for my followers as well, because they give me ideas on what to teach. I learn from each and every one of you guys, and I'll continue to help you guys. You guys give me content ideas, you give me topics to talk about. I didn't write those almost 100 articles just on my own. It was through that. And I know that my Facebook group, that is been very, very helpful in my journey as a platform, as a teacher. Um, Last year, my actual Facebook account got hacked, so the only thing that's left from that is just the group. It's still active, so you can join there to have a private space among other twin flames. It's still there, and yeah, I didn't feel like even though I have another page that I opened, I didn't feel the need to open another Facebook group just because that one's still active and live. So feel free to join there. Everything is you'll feel like it's a private Facebook group, so which means that your post and stuff like that, it won't be accessible to other people unless you are a member in the group, right? And I've got some really amazing admins that are still helping me run the group. So, and I'm thankful to have met a lot of people along in the journey. Some taught me some things, and some twin flames even taught me some things too. If you guys are looking for some friends, you can reach out in the Facebook group. There's always some people that are looking for friends there as well, so you can definitely, find some support. It's not gonna nobody will understand where you are in the journey, unfortunately, other than other twin flames, and sometimes even other twin flames are not. I found that was just my own situation as a platform, as a teacher. I found that dealing with other twin flames were just not the right fit for me. Reason why? Because they instead of instead of them helping me do my mission work, it was a hindrance because they were, of course, they had their own things that they needed to heal, and I found that it was just too hard for me to deal with the friendship as well as to be here as a teacher as well, if that makes sense. I In today's time, the only twin flames that I am in very much contact with is just my admins, and that too, they're majority of the time they're just doing their own thing as well. Like we are, yeah, we're on the same vibration, if that makes sense. And yes, I try to keep it to that, just so that I have the energy to carry on, because all of this stuff does take a lot of energy out of anybody that's doing these kind of things, because you have your own journey, and then you also have things that you want to do. You want to create content. So I want to say that my program should be live by the end of this year. I'm trying to really, really get that up before the year ends. I've already done quite a bit of work on it, created the groundwork of it, and I really, really wanted to give you guys a program where you will not only do the inner transformation, but also to heal some of the aspects, and how you can actually get past some of your limited beliefs, some of your self-concept, all of those kind of things to manifest the life that you always wanted. Because at the end of the day, if you are desiring something, then of course it does exist somewhere, and you got to bring that desire from that different world into this world, which is your 3D reality. So be mindful of what people are saying about twin flames. If you find that there's people that are saying that this is a toxic connection, this is toxic, anything to do with toxic or narcissism, try to not follow all of that, because whatever you're consuming, your mental diet, you will become that. So try to find people that are a little bit more positive, that have a better outlook of the entire twin flame experience, as opposed to just little bits and pieces of what others are saying, or whatever they have experienced through their clients or through their own journey, because if you're a twin flame, you're also dealing with your own twin flame, and you're dealing with your own journey and just whatever you have healed, right? So not everything is the way that it's meant to be, right? Some people will get past all of that things and some people don't. So be very, very mindful. And this was Vinay Kumar, also known as Twin Flame Union. I hope you guys enjoyed this live, and I hope that it was informative. For those that didn't catch me live, you do have a replay that you can watch afterward. Stay blessed, and remember, you are worth living the experience that you were always meant to be. You are meant to have the abundance in your life, and there is no stopping from you getting it. Take care.